welcome to It's Up to You, a show about amazing stories with amazing people that I'm sure will empower you. Today we have a wonderful, empowering person, Miss Kathleen Williams. Hello, Kathleen.
Good afternoon.
How are you?
I am blessed.
Thank you so much for being here today, and I love those shoes.
Well, thank you. This is one of my favorite colors.
They're gorgeous. They're absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so Kathleen, tell me, who is Kathleen Williams, and how can you empower people? How do you empower people?
Well, Kathleen Williams is a grandmother of 6 beautiful children.
Wow.
I have 3 adult sons and a fabulous husband. I live in Lawrenceville, Georgia. Been here for almost 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And am blessed to say that God has done a great work with me.
Okay, all right. Now, so I know a little bit about your background. You were interior design?
Yes.
And I can see, could possibly be a fashion designer as well. You know how to eye for fashion too?
I've got a thing for fashion.
Okay, all right. Now, so you have how many grandchildren?
6.
6 grandchildren, and you just told me that your oldest child is how old?
He will be 43.
Okay, so I'm not believing that, so I'm going to go ahead and put you on the spot and ask you, how old are you, Kathleen?
I'm 62 years old.
Amazing. You are just beautiful. Wow.
I am blessed. I've got great genes. My father, unfortunately, just passed away. He was 95 years old.
Wow. Wow.
And people said he looked like he was about 75. He was just
That
tremendous.
truly is a blessing.
And he has a big sister that's still alive. She's 98.
Wow, so long life,
longevity, definitely.
Longevity. Okay, so Kathleen, so now are you still working in your interior design business?
I am not as heavily involved in it as I would like to, but that's because I've been blessed with the business that I have now.
Okay, what is that business?
Well, my business is called NightLife Hair Wrap.
Okay.
It's a fashionable bedtime hair wrap for women that wrap their hair at night.
Huh.
And I also have a line that takes care of women that exercise.
Okay, I'm curious, how did this come about?
Well,
and why now?
Really, that's what I always say. It was a gift from God.
Okay.
People say, a gift from God? Yes, it was a gift from God. I had been working in my interior design business for 6 years, and in 2010, when the economy just went kaput, I couldn't pay people.
Yeah.
To paint their
Been
bathroom.
there,
Yes,
done that.
I'm sure you know. So I kept hearing about hair wraps. I heard some really disparaging comments about how bad women look with their wraps. And then my hairdresser told me a really funny story. And this was in 2010, toward the end. Well, I kept hearing about it. I wasn't a big hair wrapper. I did occasionally when I had gone to the salon and got my hair done. I'd do it for a day or two. Well, in January of 2011, I wake up and that's the first thing I'm thinking about. I'm like, what is this? And I know it had to be God, but I heard the voice, you need to make a pretty hair wrap. And I'm like, me? I'm not a seamstress at all. I don't know how to sew. So I said, why me? But it was so very compelling, so compelling that I went to the fabric store, purchased fabric, and tell you how bad of a sewer I am. I had to get some iron-on seam binding tape.
It's okay. I took Taylor and I still use iron-on. So,
and,
you know.
and little safety pins and so on, and created my very first wrap. And I said, God, if this is you, you're going to have to show me how to do it. Well, he showed me how to do it. And then he showed me how to do another one, and has kept me going on. And that's almost 4 years ago.
Oh, my goodness, my goodness. So tell me, what has that done for you to hear something spoken to you, to step out and take steps to do this, and now you're continuing to move forward with that? What has that done to you, for you?
It has grown me in ways that I never thought I'd be growing. I'm a pretty shy person. Well, I used to be. Somewhat of an introvert. My mother had said when I was a younger girl that you could always find Kathleen in the bedroom with a book, sitting on the floor with her hair tied in a scarf. I just remembered that the other day, that, oh, that was a prophecy back then.
Yeah.
And it just was not me. I was not the outgoing type. But I have grown. I have found that it's necessary if you want to follow God's will in your life, you've got to follow it all the way. So I had to work this blessing.
Okay.
I couldn't just accept it from God and think that it was going to happen.
Well, Kathleen, it was a blessing, so how did you have to work it? What do you mean?
Well, I, at first, because I was ignorant of what retail sales or direct sales were, I actually had to put my product out in front of people. I just assumed that I was going to open up a website, build it, and they will come.
Wow.
Well, if
Did
they
that
don't,
happen?
no. If they don't know about it, how could they come?
That's right.
So I had to venture into actual networking.
Okay.
And I'll always remember my first networking event. I went there and I was like deer in the headlights. Help me. I don't know what to do. So I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I had to learn how to get out there and promote myself. But one thing I did do, I asked God for help.
Okay.
I'll always remember at a women's event at our church, and we believe in prayer, and we believe in asking for what you need, and praying with our sisters. So I asked the first lady of our church, I said, I need help. Please pray with me. Please help me pray for boldness that I would receive it for my business. Well, you haven't been able to shut me up since then. I go on and on,
wonderful.
and I figured if this is something God gave me, I need to be proud out loud about it.
That's right. I
and
like
let
proud
him
out loud.
and let him know, let everyone know that this was a gift from God, but it's not just a gift, it's a blessing to women who want to take care of their hair.
And let me say something. I'm going to back up for just a second. I think what you're doing is just beautiful. I love it. Love the story. You said something that you put your website up and you thought you build it, they're gonna come, and you found out very quickly that that is not the case. But there's the power in what you said as far as the networking part of it.
Yes.
You are a true networker, and I will be glad to share that this show is part because Kathleen did not know me, but chose to be a blessing to this business, to this show, and to network and to help someone she didn't even know. Had a purpose, had a passion, you saw that, and so you poured into me that allowed me to be able to do this, that's going to be able to affect and give so many other people a platform to come sit where you're sitting to share. So networking is so powerful. It really is powerful.
So powerful. And every person you meet, you never can tell what's going to come out of that. You never can tell. Because each is an opportunity to, even just through a conversation, you get to know them. You get to know what they're doing, what their struggles are. And it's amazing how you can find some of your best connections through networking. I have met thousands of people in the past 3 years, and some of the best things that have come from my life are those connections that maybe 6 months later,
yes, and I
a blessing comes out of it.
Yeah, and I remember I was always too busy to network. I don't have time to network. I can't network. I can't go. I have to do this. But once I refocused and realized you are not too busy to network.
You're right.
You need the industry that I'm in. I have to network. First of all, I love people. I love sitting and chatting with people to find out what they do. That's networking.
That is.
That's what that is. And then when you can take that and not just go get a card or get a phone number or get a website, when you can follow through with that and spend time with a person, get to know them and let them get to know you, that's true networking. Because that's when the other resources come, that's when the other opportunities come, that's when you're really able to maximize that time that you thought you didn't have to spend.
That's right. I spend a good 15 to 20 hours a week networking.
Wow, that's powerful.
I attend a lot of events, and they've all been fruitful. Now, you have to choose your events.
Sure.
Every event is not beneficial to you. There are, I mean, in the past 2 years, the networking organizations in this area have just grown. So you really have to be. I prefer smaller, intimate groups, no more than 30 to 40 people. There's a lot of events where there's 100, 200, and you can't. But even if you do attend those, don't expect to just, you know, meet everybody in the room.
Sure.
You know, talk to people. You know, you will find those connections. So make a few connections and follow up with them. build those relationships, and you never know down the line when they're going to call you and say, hey,
you're right.
I know that person you need to meet. I know that
so
manufacturer.
true.
I know that designer.
That's true.
I know, you know, that person that's ready to give a grant.
That's right. That's
and
right.
that's what you need.
I think it's all about timing, Kathleen. I think it's all about being focused, but yet open.
Yes.
You know, you have to be focused. You have to be, you know, choose a path that you really want to focus on. Focus on that. That took me years to understand that, because I feel that you know, God has blessed me with a lot of different gifts and talents, and sometimes they all rise up at the same time, and it's hard to kind of manage. Well, it used to be hard to manage this, but it's not hard anymore. But when I choose to focus on a particular thing that He's given me for that day, or a thing that I'm working on, that's when I'm able to maximize my time better, because I'm just giving all of my energy to that one thing. But yet in that, you still have to remain open, because you don't want to be just so narrowed down on that thing that this thing over here is calling you, not a distraction,
yes,
but something else that you're supposed to incorporate or whatever. You have to look at that as well. But we do have to know when those are distractions as well, correct?
Exactly. You have to know where to put them on the table.
Tell me about moving forward when it seems like, you know, something's pulling you back, something's just stopping you, or something, there's a roadblock, or tell me, how do you get through that?
Well, you've got to have a lot of faith.
Okay.
You have to remember why you're doing it. Mm-hmm. My husband always talks about, what is your why? Why are you doing this?
The why, that's right.
Right. What is your personal why? Mm-hmm. Are you doing it to have more money? Are you doing it to be a blessing to others? Mm-hmm. Are you doing it to provide a service or a product to someone? What are those whys? So you have to look at that, and you have to look deep within yourself.
Okay.
Can you accomplish this?
Right.
And in that looking into yourself, you're seeing that, okay, if God's led me to this, He is faithful.
That's
to
right,
complete it
He's
within me.
Well, let me just thank you for being here, Kathleen, and just I just love your story. I just love everything that you bring to the table. I love who you are. I see you on Facebook, and you do have a big, beautiful family, and you're all, I love that. I mean, I'm not on Facebook as probably as much as I should be, but I get on there a little bit just to network, you know, a little bit to see what everybody's doing, and I see that. And when I see your posts, I'm always uplifted, and you just have a good, I guess, air about you. You know, you attract people. You attract people, and I think because that you give off good energy. You know, I want you to just say in the next a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, what could you say to empower someone to keep moving to that next stage of their life?
Look at the joy in it.
Okay.
If it's bringing you joy, keep moving.
Keep moving.
If it's a grind, and a lot of people use that word, I'm on my grind today.
That's right.
I don't like that word.
That's right.
I don't want it to be a grind.
That's right.
I want it to be my joy to get up every day and work in my business.
Work in your business every day. Keep it moving. Be empowered. Thank you so much for being here, just listening to us. Thank you, Kathleen Williams.